Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today what I'd like to do is give you an overview of my Game Master setup when I run games here at home. And generally speaking, when I run games at conventions, this is generally how I have things set up behind my screen and around me. First, I want to give you just a slow pan. This is my chair where we start. Tackle box, and I'm going to be walking through all of these things. Little table with some stuff on it right there. There's my iPad, my screen. I have dice and stuff. This is my riser I use. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And we got my dice, we got my dry erase marks, my dice roller thing, my notes are right there. And then over to the right here, I have a little small table with some books on it. Here is my bag with some stuff on it. We'll talk about that bag in a little bit too. I have some maps that I use here. And then I have a candle that I always have burning in my games. This is the standard tackle box that I have at all of my games. Mostly just have terrain in here, some initiative cards, some tokens, and some other little things that I use in every single game that I run. Now, if I'm at home, I have all of my minis in this beautiful cabinet where I can kind of see and find the ones I'm looking for, just open it up and grab what I need. If I'm traveling, I have another tackle box where I can put big miniatures in here and take minis that I think I'm going to need with me. Of course, if I'm traveling to a convention, I'll often take these RPG Essentials tokens made by Splattered Ink Games because they are super portable, full color, beautiful, thin, and they have these nice binders that you can store them in for portability. They come in these beautiful little sheets here. Like, I haven't pulled them all apart, obviously, but these are amazing, super portable, highly durable, beautiful things. So the traveling tackle box full of minis is generally reserved for when I go to a game shop near my home to play instead of playing here in my basement. And then this table to the left of my Game Master screen has all these little boxes here that hold a multitude of these character cards that are monster cards. Has monster stat block on one side and the monster artwork on the other side. These are Pathfinder 2. I find them to be invaluable in my games. This also doubles as a plate holder for pizza or whatever snack I happen to have at the moment, since you don't have to get into these boxes too frequently during a game. Because I generally have those monster cards that I'm going to use in a game session already picked out and ready to go. Unless it's like a random encounter or something, you really don't want to have to be shuffling through all of these and finding the monster card you need. Even though I have them alphabetized, it still takes some time, which slogs down the game. And continuing the pan from left to right, here I have my iPad, where I have my OneNote open that has some basic notes. I'll probably do a video in the future showing you everything that I track on my OneNote, and I can use this to look things up on the internet. For Pathfinder 2, they have Archives of Nethys, where you can get stuff really quickly. So super helpful to have some sort of mobile device here that I can get on the internet and do stuff with. Now, I've already mentioned the monster cards, but I want to talk about these little bad boys here and these little tiny things as well. So these cards are initiative tracking cards, and I think they're from, it says AMW or GMW, Game Master's Workshop. I think that's where I got these from. I think I got them online or something. I can't quite remember, but they are beautiful. So on the one side, it'll just have the character's name, and then on the reverse, it has the character's name, it has their perception score, and some other information that I want to keep track. I have like their race, their class, and then the name of the player, the actual player's name, because I normally call my players by their character names like Simu or Sayla or Marv during a game session, and so sometimes I'll literally forget their real human name, and so I have a reminder here for me. The other thing about these initiative cards is that I use them out of combat to simply track where my players are sitting. So Simu sits here, and then Sayla's here, and then Marv usually sits there, and then Krabi sits there, and then we have Bartleby there, and then we have Grimshaw here. And so having them arranged like that really helps me to remember which character is which and call them by their proper names. And I'm planning on making a separate video describing how I track initiative with this system, so I'm not going to go into that today, but just know that that is coming. And if you really want to see that, or if you want to see any other type of video describing more in detail what we're going to talk about today with this overview, please let me know in the comments. Okay, now I mentioned these little tiny token markers, and I promised that I would tell you what I use them for, so here we go. You'll notice here that I have a basic little battle set up. Oh, there's no real map here, it's just on a grid, but whatever. And you'll notice that I have one group of monsters, they are represented by the blue token. And then over here, I have the big boss monster, represented by the red token. And then over here I have another group of monsters, and they are represented by the yellow token. And then when I do run initiative, I have a blue initiative card tracker for them, a red one for this guy, and then a yellow one for these boys. Now let's talk about this mysterious box. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. It's just got coins in here. I have a bunch of coins. They're like metal coins. I got them off Amazon. And what I use those for is if we come up to the board here, you can see that I have these beautiful little wooden things. One of my players got these there. It's for initiative or inspiration. It's for tracking inspiration is what it's for. Yeah, so we can get the zoomy zoom. There we go. So when my players have inspiration, or they have a hero point, or they have a luck token, they put one of these little coins in front of them on their little inspiration tracker. I have found that having physical reminders like this, instead of just writing down numbers on a character sheet, is super helpful, and it gives us something tactile, I should say, to do with our hands and crap during a game session. And, you know, I bought this box and I had to have an excuse to use it. So what are you going to do? This is like a custom crafted homemade box that I got at like a craft show for $50 or something. My wife was like, I can't believe you're spending that much, but it is amazing, beautiful little bad boy. Here on the game board for everyone to reach is a basic measurement tool for radiuses and cones and squares and stuff like that, for spellcasting mostly. And of course you have the Game Master screen itself, which is right here. And the Pathfinder 2 Game Master screen is amazing. I love all the information that it has on it. And I strategically have all my things placed so that the parts that I use the most, such as this table right here, for DCs by level is not covered up really, and the things that I use the least are covered up over here, so I don't have to worry about looking at them a whole lot. And you'll notice on the front view from my player's perspective of the screen that all of their initiative cards face this way and have their name on them and everything, so they can see, generally speaking, what the order of initiative is. Another reason I love doing initiative cards hanging from my Game Master screen like this. Oh yes, you'll have noticed that I use this beautiful Game Riser right here. This is amazing. I love this thing. This thing helps ensure that dice don't get rolled into minis. My players have more elbow room. They can literally store extra stuff under here if they want to, and we can all reach the minis better. For me as the Game Master, since I have to reach over my screen at the map like this, having it raised higher allows me to have easy access and reach to pretty much everything on here. We get 6 players plus the Game Master at this table right here, and we don't have the world's biggest space to play in. And I fully contribute that to this riser and how useful this sucker is. And then of course we have my dice all organized in incrementing number of sides. D20s are always on my dice tray for easy rolling, and I have some scatter dice here, so if something randomly goes in a direction, I roll a die and it tells me which direction. I have some countdown dice. I use those in tracking hit points. I'm planning on making a future video about tracking hit points because also these little markers for the enemy groups also come into play when I track hit points for my games. And I'll do a future video on that because my hit point tracking method is super streamlined and makes gameplay much smoother. Pencil, pen, dry erase material, and the beer holder cozy. Of course, all my players get these little cozies, by the way, as well. I bought the things, so I have to like actually use them, but also, you know, it keeps like the table from getting wet. Panning to the right of my Game Master screen, we have another little end table here. This is actually a TV tray. These are TV trays that I bought, and this just holds my books. So my current game I run at home is Pathfinder 2, so I got Pathfinder 2 stuff, and we run it in Eberron, so I have the Eberron campaign setting here. And then my big duffel bag. So at the top here, I have condition markers, which I use during our games. I have some more maps in here. These are like big old white square ones that interlock together. And in this, I don't really have anything in here that I use during the game a whole lot. I have some sand timers in there I occasionally pull out and use, but not too frequently. And then up here on the window shelf, I have some physical map books that I use quite a bit during my games. I'll talk in a later video about how I do maps, and I think that'll be very useful to folks. And then my candle. I almost always, I should say always, have a candle burning during my games. And this bad boy here, I got it, and it carries a little holder here for a votive candle size. And all of my candles come from Firelight Fable Candle Company. Here are the votive size ones right here. And if I don't feel like a votive size, I'll do like this big old bad boy here. This one is my favorite smell, probably Dungeon Delve. You can see I'm actually getting low on this. I probably should, or it's actually almost dead. I don't even know if it works at this point. But I love these candles. They are made from coconut apricorn wax instead of just your standard soy candles. They have wooden wicks. Like you could probably see a little bit of it's all burned down to a stub, but it's a wooden wick that flickers and burns really well. The smell is amazing. They have tons of different flavors that you can get as well. So my favorite candles, hands down. I usually have one going on my desk when I'm working down in my basement here as well. And here is the backup supply of candles when the ones I got pulled out run low. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a little cheat sheet right here. This is my party languages spoken table that I use in my games, and I'll do a future video talking about why I do this and the importance of this sort of thing. And it also occurred to me, I forgot to mention this stack of papers and stuff here, and what all of this is. One thing that I have right here is just a simple note card that has my main plot points or the main things that I'm hoping will happen during a game session. I have a notebook here that keeps track of the date and the time, and some other notes that come up that I just need to jot down really quickly. And then I have my adventure notes that I have printed out from my computer for handy reference. I like to print these out so that I can make notes on them and highlight certain things during my prep and make changes at times when necessary. I have a map. Haha! A beautiful grid paper map as well. Some custom monsters that I made. And then inside the folder at the very bottom is old adventures and maps and things that I don't have to use a whole lot, so it kind of stays here in the bottom in this folder. I pull it out if I need it. By the way, if you enjoy the content I create, would like to support the channel and get a really cool book, my Feybound Kickstarter is live right now. We are making a D&D 5th edition expansion of Fey-themed, Fey Magic, Mischief, Mayhem, lots of cool things. And we are giving folks 6 new races, 10 new subclasses, over 100 monsters, Fey mechanics such as Fey curses, Fey boons and banes. We're giving true names, Fey contracts. We have a bunch of Fey magic items. We have a full campaign setting with 4 unique Fey courts. And we have a 12-part adventure arc, 12 full-length adventures that I personally wrote. There's a link down in the description and in the pinned comment where you can learn more. Also, if you scroll down the Kickstarter page and you click this bad boy right here, you can download a free sample of Feybound to get an idea of what we're going to be giving you. Now, don't forget to let me know in the comments if there's part of this setup here that you have questions about, or if you want me to do a deep dive into something. I'm planning on making an entire series where I show you behind the screen what I do as a game master. And once I have that playlist going, you're gonna be able to click right here to see everything. But until next time, have yourself a wonderful day and happy game mastering.